Growing up is weird, isn't it? One day we're promised things like Pokemon, Disney, follow your dreams, and the next thing we know it, future's here and it slaps us in the face and says, actually, good luck. On today's episode of the podcast, I am joined by queer pop artist Weaux, and we're diving into their newest single, Naive, which takes Gen Z existential dread and turns it into dance floor drama. They're entering their whole new era with their future view, and we are here to break it all down. So come on in, get comfy, and let's get at it. Come on. Whoa, welcome to the podcast. So excited to have you. How you doing today?
I am doing so well. I just had a workout. I got a personal trainer recently, trying to get into my twunk era. So, it's feeling fabulous.
I love it. Is that part of like a goal for 2026 is improving your health? Because you've got a lot of things that you're coming out with your music. Is this all part of your new era that we're talking about today?
For sure, yeah. Like, I want my body to be ready for like the performances that I'm going to be doing. Really want to perform a lot more for Pride this year. I want to feel, just sexy and wild and free. And like, I often do certain risque things in my show and, just want to be ready for that.
Nice. Oh, good for you. So what's kind of sparked this new era for you? Because I know we met at Pop Out LA's queer music conference just briefly in 2025. And since then, I've been following you and you're stepping into this new creative chapter. So what kind of like started this new journey for you?
Yeah. So before I was in my queer as funk era where I was doing like very retro 80s inspired funk pop, grew up absolutely loving like Michael Jackson and Prince.
Yes.
And so I was just kind of in that world for a while, really just finding my voice there and like leveling up my production skills, especially because I feel like funk is such a hard genre to do and to get right. Like you have to be so specific about like bass lines.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what I was really into at that time. And then even as I was trying to record the Queer as Funk album, I started writing more and I started writing these new songs that are now Future Vu. And I was like, wow, these are so different. I guess it's going to be like a two-part album. And then I
Ooh.
realized like, no, I just want to separate them out into two separate EPs and just let them be their own thing and not have to compromise one or the other. So then I let Queer as Funk be its own thing last year. Loved that. And then I was already like recording Future Vu and like preparing for my next era.
Ah.
Um, and so, yeah, I like to stay a few steps ahead. Like I'm recording my next album after Future Vu, which will be called Rainbow Warrior, like now.
Wow.
So that's also why it's called Future Vu, because it's kind of like a preview of what I would do as a major label artist and like the direction that I'm going in later,
Uh-huh.
like from now on. I'm going futuristic, dance pop, a la Lady Gaga meets The Weeknd. And I've just been preparing for this era for a long time. I've done so many mood boards, so many just pulling inspirations from, like I said, Gaga, Charlie XCX,
Mm-hmm.
The Weeknd, Troye Sivan, Rina Sawayama, just really high concept, high fashion artists who are just very futuristic. All the songs for the Future Vu EP were recorded and like done, completely mixed and mastered, maybe like in September.
Oh, wow.
But I knew I wanted new visuals for the new
Mm-hmm.
era as well. So then I was like, okay, hold up, not just gonna throw it out. Like, need new visuals. Then I did a new photo shoot with an amazing photographer and visual creative named Aurelia Vision. She lives in LA.
Okay.
And she just took my mood board and like just took it to this whole other level. And like the green photos that are for Future Vu are only like a few of the shots we did. There's like shots for like that I'm going to be using over the next couple years,
How
like of
fun.
next eras.
How
So
Yeah, so
yeah, this is really like the start of like my new artistry here in LA since I moved here.
well, good for you. Yeah, I loved your fashion. When we got to see each other last year at Pop Out, I loved the colors that you had with that whole era and your new green. I have seen the album cover. I have watched your performance with like your soft lunch party, and I love the outfit. It's a very drastic change. What was kind of that evolution as you were kind of working with her and figuring out like how far you want to go with these different styles?
Yeah. Well, I had already picked out the outfits. Like I
Oh, okay.
kind of I see like I love Sissyful. Shout out to Sissyful, CICIFUL.com. They have just
Yes.
amazing gay fashion, just
Yes.
really out there stuff. And I will just be on there. Instagram knows what I like. They know what I like to spend my money on, and I'm not mad at it. So Sissy Fool pops up on there for whatever reason. Like the universe shows me an outfit that vibes perfectly with a song that I'm working on, or like a whole new era. So I saw that outfit and I was like, I have to have it. Like this is the new me. And so like I
Right.
snagged that, got it offline. And I've had it for like over a year, but I wasn't ready to like start using it yet.
Mm.
Because for me, like a specific outfit goes with like a specific song and a specific era for me.
Yeah, that was going to
So
be my next question. Like, does the outfit empower the songwriting, or are you already writing the song, find the outfit, and it's already a perfect marriage?
yeah, kind of more the second one. Like I have the song concept, and it takes me a while to like finish a song concept. I feel like because I
Okay.
have so many ideas, and sometimes it comes to me, and like I'll just do like a quick sketch,
Mm-hmm.
and then but I have so many other songs I'm working on first that I'm
Yeah.
trying to finish. So then it's like, okay, well now finally I can come back to this.
Mm.
And also it just takes time for me to be ready for certain things. Like with
Right.
Future Vu, I really feel like I needed to level up as a producer first to be able to produce this kind of like high tech dance pop stuff. And I feel like Queer as Funk definitely helped with that. And like all my years of working on music has definitely helped with that. When
Yeah.
I first had the ideas for a lot of these songs, I didn't feel like I was like able to accomplish that yet. So it's definitely
Mm.
like the song idea comes to me and sometimes I'm not like ready for it yet. But then like as I keep working and like developing, things start coming together. Like I'm piecing together production styles and
Mm.
outfits and visuals and people that I meet who can help me with this thing or that thing. It all comes together like at the right time.
Right, right. And I'm doing the same thing. I recently on my channel, I've been learning to produce my own music as well because I've like dabbled with Logic Pro. Like I understand kind of the basics of like laying a vocal track down, and that's kind of it. And so I wanted to like start learning so that I can come more prepared to the studio, like create a demo and be like, this is what I want and explain it better. What was kind of your drive for learning to produce your own music?
Yeah. Well, I love Ableton. That's like my main one. I started producing music maybe almost like 10 years ago now, just playing with
Wow.
Ableton. I come from like a very self-taught musical ethos. Like,
Okay.
I bought a keyboard when I was like 10 and just started self-teaching on there with a few books and just like YouTube and stuff like that. And music was very much a space for me to explore my own curiosity and my own creativity outside of too much structure. I feel
Ah.
like because I started out like in theater and acting, and that always felt very structured for me. Where it's like I'm going to a class, I'm in a show, I'm like
Mm-hmm.
I went to college for it, and so it was like very structured in the way that I learned it. But music was just kind of this like more side thing at first that I was just kind of exploring on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did do like voice lessons, like voice training and stuff like that as well. But also a lot of that is self-taught as well. Like you go to practice every day. And so with music production, it's just something that it's just this infinite sandbox. It is an infinite play tool that you can do basically whatever you want with it, which can be very overwhelming because it's like, where do I
Yeah.
even start?
Yeah.
And you know, I just started somewhere. I just started with um, trying to recreate covers of songs that I love. So like this was like over
Ah.
10 years ago. I just started like trying to recreate like track by track remakes of like songs that I loved and like was very much in my retro era at that point. So I did like some Prince songs and Stevie Wonder songs, like the
Mm-hmm.
Gap Band, Outstanding, just a bunch of songs, and I just did experimental weird shit as well, like on my SoundCloud. Just I would just come up with things and try to throw things together, and then
Yeah.
my first yeah. So it's just been a process over time, and I think definitely just like referencing. I think now something that's really helpful is like referencing other songs and what kind of genre and like what artist I want this to vibe with.
Yeah.
Sometimes even to start, like, okay, what kind of song are we trying to make? And putting together like an inspiration playlist first, and then not stealing from that, but just kind of starting with like, okay, this is generally how, like, what kind of song we're trying to make, and
Right.
then letting it take its own nonlinear creative journey because every song is different. And I like to make unique songs. I don't really want to spend my time making songs that are like pretty much the same as other songs that are out there
Right.
already.
Cookie cutter. You're an
Especially,
individual person.
yeah,
Yeah. Very, very much. I
yeah,
would expect nothing less than whoa to be individual with your music.
yeah.
It's like kind of bringing that back to Naive. And so you wrote and produced this. What kind of sparked this song specifically? Talking about like your experience growing up and kind of the things that you thought the world was going to be like. What was kind of the
Yeah.
inspiration and like the tipping point for you to write this?
It's been a long journey. So the first time I got the seed for the song, which is really for me, it's just like I'll be in the shower or working out or something, or just zoned out, and then I'll just hear in my head like the melody and lyrics for the chorus, which is just like the seed of the song. So
Mm-hmm.
I just heard like, I wanna feel like I used to feel when I did have a care in the world. And then I was like, okay, what is that? And then I went to my keyboard and I started like trying to figure out what the notes were and what
Mm-hmm.
chords I wanted to go under that. And then I was like, okay, I don't know what to do with that. But that was like maybe 20, it was like beginning of 2021, like still in COVID era.
Right.
I was basically stuck in my childhood home. Like I had just
Mm.
graduated from college, class of 2020 into COVID, from theater school. I was trying to like be an actor and music
Right.
artist in New York City. And it was just like instant shutdown. Like,
Yeah.
nope, we're not doing that right now. You're flying home to Houston to stay with your family for like a year,
Ah,
um,
dream
indefinitely.
crashing.
I know, for real. Like graduate on Zoom,
Yeah.
just like absolute worst. And so I was just, and during that time, I was like, there's really no acting for me to do, so I'm just gonna do my music right now, stuck at home. And so that's a lot of what I did. And I was just writing songs. And so that was an idea, but again, at that time, I didn't feel like I had the production chops to really flesh that out like I wanted it to be. And so I was like, I'll pause on that for now, come back to it later. And then, like a few years later, I was further into my journey. I started producing it. I just found like the right sounds that I really
Mm-hmm.
like that bass sound that's really aggressive. It's like, wow, it's like
Yes.
really distorted and
I
like in
love
your
it.
face. There were certain days where like I wasn't even planning on recording anything. Like I was just trying to work on a demo a day every day in the morning, like
Ooh,
as soon as I woke up.
good for you. How did that
And
process
so
kind of turn
yeah,
out?
it's been awesome. That's how I've written like most of these songs, just like iteratively over time, just like trying to go in and like tweak at least one thing a day.
Yeah.
Because for a while it was hard for me to like deal with the pressure of having a longer session. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would just feel so intimidated by like, oh man, I rented out studio time and I'm going here and I don't know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna do and stuff like that. So I try to just start small with like a daily habit of like I'm just do 30 minutes a day in the
Mm.
morning to kind of start my day. And it was really awesome. Now I'm more in the mindset of like I'm gonna do a full 8 hour kind of thing because I'm like it's just how I'm flowing now. But at that
Good.
time, I was just doing like a little bit in the morning, and there were certain mornings where I would start, and then it would be like 3 hours later. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go to work, but like this is happening right now, and like
Yeah.
certain vocals that are on there, like the background vocals, are literally like me at 9 a.m. like on a random Tuesday before I had to go to work.
Oh, really?
Just like the ideas are happening. Yeah, certain
How
background vocals.
cool.
I redo like on my lead vocals, like actually in a studio, like
Mm-hmm.
full session.
That's funny.
Um,
That's funny. Those some of those like ad libs that you have, those are some of my favorite parts of the song. They sound so Prince like even
yeah.
just the tone of your voice, the vocal fry, like the little bit of vocal fry. It's so Prince, and
Yeah.
those are my things.
Uh-huh.
But like when I was naive, naive, like I hear it in the
Yeah,
background. I'm
yeah.
like,
Some of those
this
are
is
literally just
so
me in my
good.
bedroom. Yeah. And I
Funny.
tried to redo some of those backgrounds and I was like, no, that sounds too polished now. I like the original ones. Like
Yeah.
they're kind of casual, but also super auto-tuned. So it's like, I don't know. I just liked that.
Yeah, I love it. That's some of my favorite parts. Now, talking about that a little bit, you got some crazy, crazy high falsetto, and I'm so jealous. I always wanted to be a tenor in like school choir. I'm a baritone, so I'm
Uh-huh.
like almost a tenor. I could be like an
Uh-huh.
honorary if someone would let me. And so like your high
Baritone one
falsetto,
or two?
one. So I'm like right on
Okay.
the border. And I was like,
Okay.
oh.
Could be a
So
10 or two, you know.
could be a 10 or two. I have done a 10 or two. So like your falsetto, when did you find your voice? Because you said you're pretty self-taught. When did you find your ability to hit these crazy high notes?
When I started singing, like it felt more intuitive for me to sing in falsetto. Like it
Really?
this like singing really high, yeah, especially pre-puberty.
Mm.
Like I had a really high voice
Mm-hmm.
and I was so much more enthralled with female singers than male singers, especially when I was younger. Like
Yeah.
I just loved like Christina Aguilera, Shakira, Mariah
Yes.
Carey, Lady Gaga when she came on the scene, Britney Spears, Beyonce, Rihanna, like
Yes.
all the big pop
Classics.
girls.
Yes.
And also Alicia Keys. She was one of my first albums, and
Ah,
I just like connected a lot more with those higher melodies and pitches, like when I was younger. And I even like when I was a kid, I even like dislike. I would like actively dislike male singers or rappers. I'd be like, oh, like the guys on there, can you skip it or whatever? And I always be singing the girl part, and people will make fun of me for singing like a girl or whatever. And so it was kind of something that I kept in the closet.
hmm
Um, Singing for a long time, like I would just lock myself in my bedroom and like have my diva moment, like with a blanket around my shoulders and like just be singing to myself. But I wouldn't really let like my parents or anybody like know that I was singing or dancing in my room.
hmm
I would like come up for other explanations for it. I actually made a skit about that on my social. If you
Oh,
want to see
really?
it, it's like it's in this Ash Ketchum outfit.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I kind of kept that under wraps, and then like as I got older, then like went through puberty and everything, my voice started changing, but I still like stay connected to that higher part of my voice, and
hmm
it's just certain artists that I love that I discovered like male artists who like sang those higher notes like Prince,
Yeah.
MJ, and Earth, Wind and Fire, like 70s disco, that
hmm
kind of stuff. And like that, like DeBarge. DeBarge
Yes.
is insane. Okay.
Yes.
I like it. End of I like it. Insane. Um, but I just loved the androgyny of it. I loved like the gender rebelliousness of it, like how like sexy and like masculine they could be
hmm
even as they're singing these super high notes, and how like people reacted to it.
Right.
And so yeah, I just did a lot of those covers, like especially in uh yeah, high school and college, and like afterwards, like that was my bag in terms of covers. Like that's what I sang, like Luther
Yeah.
Vandross.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
just, and especially like Kiss by Prince and
Mm.
Reasons by Earth, Wind and Fire. Those are like two
Ah,
big songs that I sing all the
love it.
time that are super high, like exclusively in falsetto. And so I
Yes.
kind of became known for that, like as a singer.
Yeah.
And some people don't, some people like, were still against me for it. They're like, oh, you can actually hit those notes. You're just singing falsetto or whatever. Or like,
You can hit
it
those
just,
notes.
yeah.
Some people can't. So,
Yeah,
how about
yeah.
that?
Yeah, but it's been a journey for sure, like marrying the lower parts of my voice with the higher parts of my voice and finding that middle ground, finding the mix, finding how to flip back and forth. And
Yeah.
that's a lot of what my voice lessons journey has been about, is like finding the mix and um, learning how to differentiate between like different levels of
Yeah.
head voice and chest voice, because it's really interesting. It's kind of like a false binary, head voice and chest voice. Like
Yes.
it's actually, we're always somewhere in the middle,
Yep.
because like it's two different muscle groups. It's kind of like your biceps and triceps.
Yeah.
So like your arm is never completely straight or bent, like it's always slightly in the middle when
hmm
you're using your voice. So it's like, which percent am I in right now? Like which
Right.
gradient of this color am I in right now?
Absolutely. And it's like you said it perfectly. It's like muscles. It's a skill that you have to always work at. It is something special that not everyone can do, especially men. So own it. I love it. Own it.
Yeah. No, I have to be practicing to make sure I have like my ultra,
Yeah.
my highest,
Because that's the best
like
part
my
of the
B's
song.
and my C's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're waiting for now. You put it on the record, so that's what I want.
Yeah. And I always do like 100% live vocals on my shows too. Like I have other background vocals in there, but for my lead, like I really want to nail that lead vocal. I really want to
Yes.
give you like fun choreography and like movement and like do the full
Right.
live thing like Gaga does, because it's so fun.
Yeah, that's why you rehearsed so much in your bedroom. It's all leading up
With
to
the blanket.
this.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you've mentioned that Naive, you want it to be like an anthem for your generation. So how do you feel? Well, the song's been out, the reception's been really good. I've been following you online. It's getting lots of streams. How are you feeling now with that statement of wanting it to be an anthem? Are you seeing the results of your hard work now?
Oh, yay, I am. Yeah, I really am. I'm just loving the response so much. We're like almost at 5,000 streams on Spotify, like in the
Yes.
first month, which is
It's
amazing.
fantastic.
And for this, thank you. Yeah. And for this release, I really wanted to have more support in terms of promoting it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to feel like it's all on me every day to promote this all the
Hmm.
time because at the end of the day, my personal network is only so big, and I can only, you know, try to milk, get people to listen to it so many times,
Right.
right? And so I really wanted to, again, because this is a relaunch, and this is kind of like my new signature song, my new flagship release. Like I wanted to have more support with getting it out there to a wider audience.
Hmm.
And so I'm working with a company called Decent Music PR.
Mm.
They're amazing. They're based in the UK. And they helped me get some cool press placements for it, and also helped with some playlisting on it. And it's going really well. And like, it's most of my streams right now are coming from the Philippines on Naive, which is
Oh,
crazy that like
wow.
there's so many thousands of people like listening to my song in the Philippines. And I don't know if I'm ever going to meet any of them, but I'm just like, I'm just honored.
It's
And
cool.
yeah, and most of it is, yeah, most of them are like on different playlists that are like with Rihanna and like other late 2000s, early 2010s pop that
Wow.
they put me on. And so I was just listening to one of those and I was like, oh my God, like the stuff that I grew up with is on this playlist with my song, and it's like vibing with that. And it's kind of the perfect placement for me.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel amazing that like my song works
Yeah.
like with these other super high professional releases, because like I'm an independent artist like doing this on my own. I have a
Yeah.
mixing engineer and a mastering engineer, and like I try to build a team that like replicates what a major label artist team looks like.
Yeah.
um but it's like it's definitely a challenge to compete with like the biggest artists in the world, or for me to feel like I'm on the same level as them. So to have my song on that playlist and like have it really work just feels really good.
Yeah, you should be very proud. Very
Yeah.
proud. It's a really cool
Oh, thanks.
accomplishment. And it is strange being, because I'm in the same boat as you, independent, doing all of it on my own, having some help, finding my community of people I can like rely on and share ideas with. And it's still, even doing like things like this podcast, it's cool to see the reach that like we get to have. It is challenging working with all these because like anyone can upload music now, but it's also like so much easier to find your niche audience because everyone's so open to the idea now of like streaming and finding undercover artists. It isn't so much underground anymore like when I was starting in music. You kind of like had to go to the shows, had to go to the bars to find an underground. It's so cool now that we have this opportunity to find our audience in the Philippines, in the UK, like all over just by these cool playlists that you get to be a part of.
I also wanted to talk about Instagram,
Yeah.
because Naive has really been popping off on Instagram. The main reel for the video has gotten like over 35,000 views organically. Like I didn't even run an ad this time. It was just like
Wow.
popped. It's been popping off for like weeks, and just so many comments, so polarized, which I love. I
Yeah.
love good polarization in my comments. Like certain people absolutely love it, and then other people are like, "What the you look disgusting in this
Oh.
outfit. How dare you wear women's clothes?" And
Like, well, it's not.
well, exactly. I'm like, it's from cis people, but
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, I think just the combination of that outfit that I was wearing, like the skin tightness of it, the cut of it, like
Hmm.
the tights that I was wearing with it, the choreo that I was doing, the lyrics, the colors, everything. And it's very micro budget. Like I spent $0 on this video. Like it's just against this wall that I'm here with right now. But
Oh, how
this is
fun.
what I've been working on. Yeah. This is what I've been working on, is not killing myself spending thousands of dollars on music videos, and instead doing these very micro budget, very candid, but still curated and like artful
Right.
social media videos, mini music videos that are vertical for like Instagram and that kind of stuff. So it's really rewarding for
Hmm.
me to like have done so much planning and then like see people responding to it the way I hope that they respond to it.
Right.
And at this point, I literally do not waste my time responding to negative comments anymore. I used to.
Yeah.
Like last year, I released a video that was in a similar outfit, and I got a lot of comments, and I was like clapping back at them in the comments. And then after a while, I was just like, why am I wasting my time? Like
Yeah.
this is like making me angry, and like they're just
Hmm.
helping me. Like when they comment, they're just helping it reach more people.
That's the
So like,
best
why
part.
should I be mad?
Yep.
There's not even like a dislike button anymore.
No.
So it's just like they're watching it, commenting on it, it's getting to more people. So like, thank you for hating.
Yeah, you're giving me view
Please come back.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Share it with your friends. Naive, it felt very like nostalgic looking back, almost kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, kind of like missing that time of like, I wish I could go back, but I can't anymore.
Yeah.
How has naive kind of changed? Is the definition still kind of that like nostalgic feeling, or is naive turning into
Yeah.
like an empowerment thing for you?
Well, I love that it's so open. I feel both. Like I
Yeah,
feel like it's definitely when I was writing it, I felt so stressed out by my anxiety,
right.
finances, debt, depression, like all these different adult things, feeling so
Yeah.
lonely. Like I was in New York and feeling like very alone at that time.
Hmm.
And missing home, like missing my family and missing where I came from and my childhood where I was surrounded by like family and love and all these different things.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I definitely was missing that and it was coming from a longing. But now I'm like I'm also kind of reclaiming it as like naive doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can also be like that state of like hopefulness and like anticipation
Yes.
and joy of like being a kid
Yeah.
that I still need, that we all still need to like make it through the
Hmm.
day. Because like if I'm jaded, if I'm disappointed all the time, I'm not gonna want to push for, all the things that I want to do and
Right.
reach further. Like I have to still remain hopeful that all of this is somehow going to work out. Like
Hmm.
everything that I've invested into my career and all the sacrifices I've made for this dream are going to come true. And that's why I put the hashtag stay naive with it. Because it's like we got to
Hmm.
stay naive. Like we have to
Yes.
stay in this place of hopefulness
Hmm.
and hoping for something more, dreaming of something more,
Yes.
chasing after like what our child selves wanted
Hmm.
for us, even when it feels difficult, even when we know like how difficult it is, we're still chasing for it.
Exactly. And so like what do you think your say like 12-year-old self would say to you seeing where you're at now?
Oh my God, my 12-year-old self would be gobsmacked. Absolutely. Like, I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm living in LA. Like, I'm making music all the time, collaborating with all these amazing people. I have a new amazing partner now. Like, I'm living
Oh,
in artist space with like other artists. I'm doing my acting stuff. I'm
wow.
wearing all these crazy outfits, like getting my videos and my ideas out there. I think, yeah, my 12-year-old self would be like, oh my God, I didn't even know like you could do all this stuff. I didn't know like so much about myself at that time, but I knew I was creative and I
Hmm.
had my own YouTube channel when I was 12 and it was very much comedy. It wasn't even music yet. I wasn't even doing music yet. It was just comedy on my YouTube. And
Hmm.
I think, yeah, my 12-year-old self would just be happy that I'm like still creating, still putting my voice out there and just living it up.
How fun. So then we kind of talked a little bit about like what to expect in 2026 for you. Going to be releasing some new music throughout the year. What's the next thing that we can look forward to?
So this is my most planned out release ever. Before I
Smart.
definitely just threw stuff out there as I finished it. But this, like, all the songs got finished at the same time for this EP. So The Abyss is coming out April 17th, 2 days before
Mm.
my birthday.
Hey.
And that is my coming out story through the metaphor of a werewolf. And it is very gothic, epic synth ballad, perfect compliment for naive.
Wow.
Very excited about that. I've been working on myself to get to the point where I can release that song for like over 8 years since I
Mm.
came out.
Mm.
And so yeah, it's a bit of a scary song. It's a bit of like a Halloween kind of vibe to it, but I feel like
Ooh.
it doesn't have to be only Halloween. It can be any time of the year.
Yeah.
And so that's coming out April. That's on the EP as well. Chameleonic comes out in June for Pride Month, and that is a song about not blending in and instead
Mm.
standing out and being fully iconic, and knowing that I have this power to shapeshift and change myself, and I have blended in or compromised myself. But at the end of the day, I'm breaking free of that. That's probably my most Gaga song ever.
Ooh,
Very
okay.
excited about that.
Nice.
And I probably want to do like a kind of chameleon invasion of
Ooh,
downtown LA,
okay.
where I'm just like walking through the financial district with like all these people in like suits and ties, and then I just come through with like my outrageous outfit and just like
Yes.
kind of disrupting their whole day while singing the
Yes.
song,
Oh, I
and
love
just
it.
kind of like get like candid reactions to that, and like how much like we see ourselves as free,
Hmm.
but then the things that we wear, the way that we present ourselves are so limited in certain boxes and certain spaces. Like
Hmm.
what you wear shapes so much of how people see you, especially on first impression, or what
Very
kind of
true.
job they think you have or social status they think you have.
Yeah.
And so many workplaces have dress codes
Hmm.
that it's like, I just kind of want to shake that up a little bit and be like, but wait, why couldn't I just wear this to my job in the financial district? Like,
Yeah.
does this actually prevent me from running a hedge fund?
Right.
Like,
Right. Does wearing fishnet tights and a fantastic green suit make me less educated?
right,
I
right.
love your thought
Yeah.
on that.
So that's coming out in June. Then I have a bunch of collabs coming out in the summer. Um, and then Future Vu, the title track of the EP, and the rest of this 4-song EP comes out October 2nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So then, what would success look like to you at the end of 2026 once the album's out, your singles are out? Do you have like a goal that you're going towards, or is this all you're just letting it happen all organic?
Oh, I mean, I'm letting it happen organically, but in terms of goals, like, I definitely want to. This is kind of like my resume to like major record labels. Like, this is what I would do as a major label artist. So at the end of
Okay.
2026, I want to be like in a good position to like start talking to those kind of people, start talking to like managers, live booking
Hmm.
agents, like that kind of thing, and kind of like leveling up my team
Hmm.
for my next album. And also just like for my fans, like setting up like this is my aesthetic going forward and this is my vibe. Like, if you want more of this, like, I'm cooking up a lot more of this. So, like, stay tuned for the next couple years.
Yes, that was going to be my next question. How can we support you during this journey? Where can we follow you? Where
Yeah,
get shout it all out so we can list it.
period. Yeah. So the deepest and best way you can support me is to join my Patreon. I have like a lot of awesome people on there, super fans who've been supporting and donating for years. I put exclusive content on there, go deeper into my process. Also, just like as I'm creating demos that might not come out for a couple years, like I'll just post a candid video of like a song I just wrote today on there. So you get like exclusive sneak peeks of what I'm
Very
working
cool.
on my process. Sometimes I'll share like my mood boards or my vision boards for different um, things I'm cooking up. And so that's like a big support. I cannot tell you how many times like my donations from Patreon every month have literally kept my lights on. Like
Mm,
all of my expenses of like subscriptions to different services and like having
right.
certain softwares, like that has saved me so many times.
Yeah.
And then I also have people who just want to donate once at a time on my GoFundMe. I always have a GoFundMe open to like support my songs. Right now, I'm doing like a $2,500 crowdfund for Naive to support this PR campaign that I'm doing with Decent Music PR. So people have been donating on there. Sometimes I have like the best fans ever. Like people literally send me like hundreds of dollars at a time, and they
Wow.
keep coming back and they keep donating, and I'm just like, wow, that is so nice. You can follow me on Instagram at Woe is me. That's WEAUX is me. Also on all the other platforms, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Instagram is definitely my main one where I post like most of my stuff. You can go to my website, woeisme.com, get some merch.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, come to a show. I normally do like Breaking Sound showcases here in LA.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah,
Perfect. All right. So I had just a few quick rapid fire questions. These are just super fun ones for us to continue to get
okay.
to know you a little bit more to wrap this thing up. So who is your favorite, or what is your favorite Pokemon, since you're a fan of Pokemon?
Ah, what is my favorite Pokemon? That is so hard. I'm gonna go with Pikachu. First thing that came into my head.
There you
Just I
go.
feel like Pikachu embodies like my youth and my innocence, and I consider myself an electric type. Like
Hmm.
everything I'm doing is kind of electric themed,
Yeah.
and I love how just like fast Pikachu moves around, like with the quick attack, like just like,
And we
and
get
that's
we got a little shout out for
yeah,
Pikachu, right? In Naive, right at the end.
yeah. At the very end, I go Pika.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, I think I heard
yeah,
that. Cool.
yeah.
I
That's
heard
Sumi
correct.
Pokemon.
All right, next one. Disney movie. Favorite Disney movie.
Favorite Disney movie? The Incredibles.
Ooh, okay. Why?
Yeah, I just love superheroes. I loved like X-Men growing up, and The Incredibles is just the combination of that amazing Disney Pixar aesthetic
Yes.
with superheroes, and it's just so iconic. Like
Mm-hmm.
the characters are just so amazing, and it's all about like who you are when you put on the suit and who you are when you take it off. And I
Mm.
feel the same way about being an artist, about being a
Yeah.
pop star, and having Woe as this persona. It's like the same conflict that I felt for a long time that I'm feeling a lot better about now. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like the difference between who I am as Woe and who I am when I'm performing, creating music, creating this persona versus when I take that off and I'm just Wayne Babineau and I'm just like chilling,
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with friends. And for a long time, I didn't have that balance. Like I only thought of myself as good in my Woe form, but not in my
Oh.
normal human form. And now I'm like, I've been just putting so much more into my personal form,
Hmm.
my Wayne form. And it's like so awesome.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
All life is a journey and figuring out who we are, and we never stop learning. Tell you, I'm in my mid 30s, still learning, and I think it's important for us to continue to grow. That's like the best part, especially being an artist and what you're doing and showing. Growing and evolving is like the best parts of life, and like challenging yourself. Keep doing it. You're very inspiring.
Oh, thank you, CaseyRyan.
Last question: dream future collab. Who would be like your
Oh,
dream
dream future
artist?
collab. I mean, obviously Lady Gaga. I would
Yeah.
love to do a song with Lady Gaga. I think that'd be absolutely amazing. Yes, one day. I think she's just an amazing songwriter. Just I want to see her process. I want to just like, yeah, just sing with her. That'd be great.
Perfect. Great answer. All right. Well, thank you so much, Woe, for coming on the podcast. It was so great to get to chat with you, learn a little bit more about you and Naive. For everyone listening to the podcast or watching it on YouTube, make sure that you check those links out below. Go and support Woe, donate to their GoFundMe, check out their Patreon, actually download Naive. Don't just stream it, download it. Let's support Woe as he continues going forward. And remember to be kind to others, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. Until next time, peace.
Bye.